Hey, hello everybody, MJ here. Okay, nice to see you live on Facebook and also on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to check something out here. There should be a live status indicator here. Okay, I wonder what that does. Oh, fantastic. Oh, that gives me, oh, this is great. I'm so excited because Prism Live Studio just updated. And one of the things they have is chat timeout. So, hey, good to see you, Matthew. Fist bump. Now, that's cool because the comment down here should disappear in about 15 seconds. Amazing. Look at that. That's just so fantastic. Yeah, it's a little fast. It's supposed to be there for 15 seconds, but this is a new thing. And now I actually have a few. Hey, Frank, how you doing? Few, I like that. If you fist bump to you. I like that. The comments stay for 15 seconds and then they're gone. Ready? Watch. Ready? Oh, it's gonna go. It's gonna go. It's gonna go. And then they disappear, see? But I also have an indicator here. It says I got 30 frames per second, 2500 kbps, 85%. It shows my mic level. The only thing it's missing, actually, I wish I had this on, because we have this on HeyGo. The only thing I wish I had was the internet connection. But there you go. Hi, everybody. All right. As you saw in the title, this is my first COVID broadcast. I survived COVID-19. You're probably not surprised. But I got to tell you, when COVID-19 first hit, back in the early part of 2020, I always used to wonder if I'd survive it or not. And it's because of my age, because I'm overweight. Not tremendously. I mean, I'm still, suave and debonair. No, my friend used to say suave and debonair. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm suave and debonair. But still, you know what I'm saying. But I did choose to fast. Dave, fist bump to you. I'd like the new disappearing comments. This is amazing. This new update came out, and I think 2 days ago. And so it's my first time using it, and I gotta tell you, I love it. Oh, and another thing I like too. I did because one of the strategies that I used to fight COVID was fasting. And I love this. I love the fact that the comments don't stay and that they disappear. Dave, that might encourage you to use them. And you know something, I completely back you up because the stuff that you show, you don't want the comment. When I'm just doing a talk show, it's different. But when you're doing like this beautiful landscape of these villages, remember, you want it like Periscope, where the comments come up and then they disappear, and you can, excuse me, you can see the scenery. But the only thing is I wish I got to talk to Jake about it. It's a really, really good start. It looks fantastic, but I wish it was a little bit. I wish it was a little bit more granular. In other words, well, I can't scroll back, but however. Prism has its own, built-in comment section. So if I tap on the icon, then I can see the comments and you can't. I can scroll back and I can even do administrative things like blocking or timeouts or something like that. So, yeah, this is only for the burn. I have it set for 15 seconds. I wish I could get it for 20. I think 20 would be about perfect. 20 would be about perfect, but yeah, it makes a big difference. But you're gonna love the new monitor. But anyway, getting back, I know I always jump around. Let me just say this: COVID-19 was a nuisance, and I survived it. It could have gone, a lot differently, but for me, it was okay. One of the strategies that I did was I fasted right away, and the reason I did that is because I realized one of the comorbidities was diabetes. I don't have diabetes, but I live on the edge. My age, my weight, everything, I could become, I, I could go on a binge on a weekend and become diabetic, okay? But I manage it. And I wanted my blood sugar to crash, not, that's the wrong word. I wanted my blood sugar to go down to normal. And I wanted my insulin levels to go down to normal. So I fasted. And I happened to lose 7 kilograms. That's about 15 pounds. Hey, that's not bad. So one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to get my trike fixed. And I'm going to ride it all this summer. I'm buying a drone. I'm going to do some droney stuff with the trike. And once I get the trike completely fixed and back in action, it needs a new seat cover. It needs some new stuff. Some stuff broke on it. My goal is to drop about 20 more kilograms, and that should be good. Now, I'm excited because one of the updates with Prism is, for those of you who use Prism, there's a timer, broadcast timer. It's a red button that tells you how long you've been on the air. And you can press the button and it either goes to the side and tells you how many people are connected by the number of platforms, or in the center, it just gives you simply the time. But I see that when it's in the center, I can see how many people are joined, which I couldn't see before. Now, if I tap it, it goes off to the side. Then it tells me something else. It tells me how many, this is interesting. It used to tell me like how many people were on Facebook, how many people were on YouTube, how many people were on Twitch. Now it just tells me a conglomerate of how many people are on, but it gives me how many thumbs up. So far, you guys have given me 2 thumbs up. I appreciate that. That means a lot. So I don't have to like look at that so much. I can just leave in the center, which is cool, because unfortunately when you tap it and it goes off to the side and it gives you the breakdown, you lose the control of the the extra menu, which means that you can I got to put this on, save video after stream. I got to put that on. Okay, a couple of things have changed, guys, but you have autofocus and manual focus now too, which is interesting. And one of the things that I like is that if you tap on the screen, it gives you a focus lock, and that's something new. So, Jake Song and your team, you guys are #1. And Jake said earlier tonight in one of the groups, the live streaming tech line group, he said that this whole thing about the comments disappearing was my idea. But something, this whole thing, Prism is much bigger than one individual, and you guys have done such an amazing job. I'm just fortunate. I feel really fortunate, Jake, that I got your ear. Even though sometimes the stuff that I tell you might sound ridiculous, and obviously some of it is, I appreciate being able to even talk to you guys on the Prism team. So now I got my LED cup here. I was out earlier tonight at some of the Thai places, and it was really amazing being out at these places. I used to go, and of course, I always got my alcohol. I got my alcohol wipes. I got my mask. It's on the lanyard here. I threw it behind my neck as I'm eating. I kept thinking, what are they going to do? Give me COVID? It's a weird feeling. When you've already had it. It's really strange. But I do have to worry about a couple things. Because in Taiwan, some children who have had COVID have some strange kind of, I want to say rebound, but they have additional symptoms sometimes that show up 2 to 3 weeks later. Now, if you read some of the communist newspapers, that's no problem. What I'm going to do is, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to up the size of that. Of course, in Taiwan, we get inundated by all kinds of news. And I always like to read about what news articles say about, Taiwan and the response. I didn't realize I was reading a socialist website. Some guy named Ben, an American guy. And the first thing I want to ask Ben is, if China is so great, why don't you live there? I've been to China 4 times. I'm never going there again. It's a dangerous place for Americans. But he kept saying that that Taiwan is, got the highest incidences of COVID-19, and how China is so much better with their zero COVID policy, and they've only had 5,000 deaths. And I'm like, seriously? You believe that? I mean, you believe that data? Okay, look, here's what's going on. This is the straight talk from Taiwan. These right here are the numbers that came out today. Now, my friend said, oh yeah, the numbers are vertical in Taiwan. Well, they weren't quite vertical, but they went up really quick. Now, here's what I want you to understand. You see those dates where it says at the bottom, like 4/22, excuse me, when that first happened? This is 2022, guys. The Taiwan government has protected its citizens from COVID-19 for 2 solid years, and they decided that it's time for an exit strategy, so they exited when the virus had lost. Hey Joey, how's it going, bro? Good to see you, thanks for joining. They decided to exit, and I think it's correct, when the virus has lost a lot of its potency, I guess is the word. I'm a layman. So any idiot can look at this chart and see, of course, I'm an audio engineer, so I look at this, it looks like a waveform. There's peak forms, and then of course, there's the RMS value. Can everybody see that the cases are falling in Taiwan? Can everybody see that in maybe another 2 months, they're going to be down to almost nothing? Right. Now, there are a couple significant things. Let me show you, these are the last few days worth of headlines. Down the bottom, July 28th, Taiwan reports 44,000. June 29th, we report 42,000. June 30th, 38,000. July 1st, 35,000. Do you see what I'm saying? It's going down, right? And I myself am a survivor. Now let me show you, this is really, really interesting. Now here's the whole thing. This really spells it out. Of the 3,808,400 domestic, can't see this because it's cases reported in Taiwan this year, 7,109 have been classified as severe. Okay, you guys follow me on this? 7,309 out of 3.8 million are severe, okay? And 9,426 as moderate, accounting for, now here's the deal, 0.19% of Taiwan COVID-19 cases are severe, and 0.25% of the total are classified as moderate. In all other cases, the infected individuals were either asymptomatic or had mild symptoms. Mild symptoms. That's this guy. I'm 66 years old. I weigh now 113 kilograms. I'm probably 20 to 25 kilograms overweight. Okay? J-Boy, fist bump. Nice to see you. COVID-19 was the only, when I talk to people here, like tonight I was talking to Shaolin, and I said that, I said that, what the heck, look man, just, I don't want you in my, I don't want you in here. Get out of here. Oh. Okay, as I was trying to say, when I was talking to Shaolin and some others, you know, I let some of the people here know that I had COVID, you know, like last week. And I just, yeah. Hey, Joey. Let me see. Hang on. I know, he's gone. Joey, are you on Facebook? Sorry, man. Are you on Facebook? I'm sorry. Because if you were on YouTube, I'd make you a moderator right away. Everybody who follows me is a moderator. Because I believe in numbers. Because there's nobody that follows me that would ever do anything harmful, or you know what I'm saying. And so I've always said that whoever follows me, they get to be a moderator. That's just how it is. And so, okay, all right, that's fine. I don't have that power on Facebook. If you were joining me right now on YouTube, you'd be a moderator. And thank you, by the way, for asking Dave to block. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say, let me collect my thoughts again. So. With everything that went on, okay, I'm telling people, the words that I use in Chinese when I describe my experience with COVID-19 is, I just say, "Hao ma fan." That's a way of saying, like, it's very troublesome. Watching on YouTube, okay, but okay, you're watching on YouTube and commenting on Facebook. Is that it? Okay. Anyway. Well, the thing is, until I see a comment on YouTube, I can't interact with it. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. Whatever. That's cool. Anyway, so yeah, Joey, you and I go way back. So the minute that I can do it, I'm going to do it. Make you a moderator. My moderators have saved me, and you know, it's really funny because sometimes those of you who know me for a long time, sometimes it's kind of like, you just like slit your arms or something, and you just jumped into the pool with sharks. So there you go. Anyway, I did beat it, J-Boy, and but I gotta tell you, it wasn't that difficult. If I say like "hao ma fan," it means troublesome, bothersome. It was an annoyance. Here's what happened. I went to East Taiwan, did a couple of tours on Heygo, didn't interact with anybody, and I was outdoors, and I used my 160 camera, or 360 camera, and took a bunch of stuff, and I was outdoors, you know. I wasn't even confined with anyone. Then I went to my friend Andreas's. Now you guys know Andreas is the Green Farm, the German friend of mine. And he's amazing. The stuff that he does, right? A little bit, J-Boy, but not much. But I tell you what, you guys know that I always work on deficit sleep, right? I've been working on 4 to 5 hours of sleep every night for the last several years. Well, I got a lot of sleep during this time because I forced myself to, and it helped a lot. But there's one thing that I want to talk to you guys about, and I don't want to forget about it. I want to kind of go through the story, but there's something about COVID-19 that was really weird that I sensed, and I want to tell you what it is. So I went to the mountains, and I'm an outdoors guy, but I haven't been. I'm married now with a kid. When I lived in New Hampshire, my friends call me Bushman. That's why my nickname was the New Hampshire Bushman. And if you go to the nhbushman.com, that was my old blog from 2006 down to whenever I stopped updating it. And I was an outdoors guy, right? And a field engineer, and really, for real, I did a lot of GIS stuff and GPS mapping and so forth. And anyway, I would spend, days or weeks in the field, literally in the forest. I haven't done that for a long time. So when I went up to Andreas's farm is called the Green Farm. If you guys want to, this is great. Go to Google Maps and look up the Green Farm in Taiwan and just look at the pictures and go ahead and drool. The guy makes his own beer. He distills his own liquor. He smokes his own food. He's amazing. I brought my 3 Dutch ovens up there and I left them with him. And the day after I left, he cooked something that blew me away. He's nuts. He's insane. He's amazing. I love him. They didn't get sick. I was there. They didn't get sick with me. But they're 750 meters up in the mountains in beautiful Hualien. Actually, I got a picture. Give me 1 second. I want to show you a quick picture of what it looks like from his place. And so while I'm going to look for this real quick, I'm just going to tell you that they did not get sick, and he kind of didn't realize that I wanted to do this, but I decided to sleep outdoors. I slept outside at his place. And this is what it looks like. This is a shot that he took. He's in the mountains, 750 meters high. So I slept outside. Now what happens when you sleep outside and you haven't slept outside for a while? You get a little congestion, you get a little kind of, what I'm saying, a little cough. That's okay because it's cold and chilly and stuff. But this is what it looks like around where he lives. These are shots that he showed, that he gave to me, right? And so I didn't think anything of it when I had a little bit of a cough, but it wasn't a big deal. Then on my way home, yeah, exactly, Joey. Yeah, you got it, man. That air is the best. But the problem is, right, for city guys, when they breathe that air, it's like poison at first. Like, what's this? Your body's going, whoa, what's that? It doesn't have, the prerequisite amount of lead, and junk in it, right? And carbon monoxide, right? So, I visited my friend Denis, who's a world famous, well, I don't know if he's world famous, world class, I guess is the word, researcher. And I spent time with he and his wife. Yeah, exactly. And then I went home and I took a harrowing ride home because the main road was closed. I got home at 4 o'clock in the morning the next morning after driving through the mountains with fog and stuff. It's a white knuckle night. And so that was a Wednesday. I had this cough and I had a little bit of a fever. I went to sleep and woke up, had a fever. So I didn't think nothing of it. Now the next day, now this is important, and this is going to tie in with what I wanted to say about how I felt about what COVID was doing to me. I have cardiac arrhythmia. There's nothing wrong with my heart. It just wants to beat funny. I have premature ventricular contractions and stuff. If I drink a lot of coffee, it drives me nuts. I think it has to do with electrolytes, and I've been able to manage it. But I take medicine, and I see a cardiologist every month. And I ran out of medicine, and on Thursday I was going to go see him. But in Taiwan, we have a rule: if you have a fever, because a fever can be a sign of a COVID-19 infection. If you have a fever, then you must take a rapid test at home first, and only then can you see the doctor. So I called the doctor and talked to him and verified it. By the way, my cardiologist is amazing. He's actually from Hong Kong. He speaks English like you and me, so it's amazing. And I just told him, he said, we'll take a rapid test. I took a rapid test on Thursday, okay? And so here's the deal. I took this rapid test on Thursday, and almost immediately, like, you're supposed to put like 4 drops. There's a little vial, you go, dip, 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 4 drops. I put 1 drop in, and that line that says T, that thing turned red like so fast. I said, oh my gosh, I'm having twins. That thing was so fast. And the C line is the control line. There was no doubt. I didn't have to wait. They say wait between 15 minutes. Take the results between 15 minutes and 30 minutes. Yeah, 15 seconds. I knew I was COVID positive. So, it does. And I was joking about that. I said that on Instagram. I said, does the T mean I'm having twins? And you guys know Betty, right? I love Betty. Betty's a hoot. Betty said, no, that means you're having triplets. So, I went to the Huco Hospital. J-Boy, I'm not an expert, but I'm going to tell you something. I mean, if it slammed that hard, that's what I thought. That was my first thought. Was like, holy cow! I must have like a huge viral load. But I don't know where I got it, because I was in East Taiwan, and I was out in the open walking around with people. The only thing I did was, Taiwan has mochi. Do you know what that is? That's that spongy stuff. It's a confection, and they have it it's from Japan, right? And a lot of stuff we have in Taiwan is from Japan. And I went to a mochi place, and my wife asked me. Actually, my wife sent me the address because she wanted me to go have them go to the place and get them to make some mochi for me. And this is the lady making mochi, and I actually made this into a YouTube short, and it went kind of crazy because of the legs. You see, there's a reflection of one lady on one side with the legs, and it's like, but anyway, so. Hey Dean, fist bump, thanks bro. Thanks for the welcome back. So I was at this mochi place for like, I don't know, 30 minutes. I told them like, I think it was 5 or 6 kinds of mochi that I wanted them to make for me. And that was it. I was in my car. I didn't do anything else. And then I went home. So Thursday, I test positive. I told my wife, okay, I can't leave the house. Got to get Phoenix, my daughter. Got to get Phoenix out of school. And you have to go to the doctor and get my medicine. So she did, and she did. God bless. Sorry. I gotta get rid of this guy. I can't, sorry about that. Now we're gonna put our comments back on. I mean, do people really do that? I mean, is there like some obsession with pornography or something that I'm too stupid and I don't know about? Make that guy go away. Sorry about that. What I did was I had to drop the comments box so I could see the system comments and get rid of that guy and block him. Why is he picking on me? I got like 7 people watching me. Go bother the Kardashians or something. Anyway, excuse me. Okay. So, all right, now here's the thing. And my, okay, chat box is back, ready to go. Now here's what I wanted to tell you. This is going to sound weird. When I first got infected, I didn't feel any different. You know, I mean, when, the thing is, right, this is a reality. And our friend Kenrod has just experienced this. When you see this, this is surreal. You're like, excuse me, you're like, okay, this is scientific proof. This is irrefutable, pretty much, unless you goof up the test. But because it has the C is the control line. If there's no control line, then you know the test is invalid. But there's a control line. There's it's astronomically high probability that you have COVID-19. So immediately I just started to, act like I had it. And I started taking it easy. I was drinking more liquids, but I immediately started to fast. For the reasons I said before. 200 things I did. Number one, I take NAD. I take 1,000 milligrams a day. I take over 30 supplements a day. Because I had my age reversed at the Sears Institute of Anti-Aging, and I have been following that program ever since. And NAD is part of that whole regimen. NAD, it turns out, and I'm not an expert, I'm just repeating what I heard, but there's empirical evidence with the FDA. NAD interferes with COVID-19's viral replication within the body, and that's why they try to ban it as a supplement. You see, whatever they try to ban works, right, guys? That's how you know. I'm in Taiwan, so I got NAD, and I upped it from 1,000 milligrams a day to 3,000 milligrams a day, and I staggered it, morning, noon, and night. The second thing I did was I upped my vitamin D3 supplements. I started taking about 15,000 international units a day. I never felt like I was in danger, but I don't know how to say this. I did? No. Well, the thing is, right, is I can't block anybody. I can only time them out. So if I timed out Joey, he'll come back. But oh boy. It's a timeout. You did? Joey's my man. Dave, would you please apologize to him? It's a timeout. I can't actually block somebody on YouTube. You know what I mean? It's funny because I can block somebody. It's weird. I can block somebody on Twitch, but well, if he's watching on Facebook and he can comment on Facebook, Joey, crying out loud. Holy cow, I'm sorry, man. I would never do that on purpose. As we say in Chinese, 请原谅我, just please forgive me. Oh my goodness. That's terrible. I'm just getting into my most profound aspect of the COVID-19 story. And I got some pretty bad news about blocking an old friend accidentally. Well, Frank, you know, there's something to be said about whatever you feel you need. You know, give your body whatever you feel you need. All right, I'm going to scroll back. I'm going to see if I can find a comment from Joey. Yep, and I think you're right. Well, I know you're right. I don't see any comments from Joey. So, can he still view? Or has he been timed out only from commenting? Can he still view? That's the thing. Oh man. Well, that guy had like so many layers of comments that I guess I must have fat fingered it. Now I feel really bad. Wow. There's nothing I can do. Ugh. So Dave, I know that, you know, he DM'd you, right? And so I want to make extra work for you, but if tell him I'm sorry. And it's supposed to only be a timeout. Now, Dave, you're a moderator. I don't know if you could reverse it or restore it, but anyway. And speaking of which, I said this before. So, okay. Yeah, everybody's a moderator, so anyway. If I have to, I'll just fix it later. I mean, if it can't be fixed now, I mean, hopefully it's just a timeout, so you can come back in like 10 minutes or something. Ugh. I know. Look, it's time to take a break. We'll be right back. As soon as I can figure out how to do this. So it should be the playlist. Video playlist. Okay, so where is it? Well, I don't want to play it. I mean, okay, this is something that it's a new feature. Oh, I think it's this. I think it's nope. I think it's this for the video playlist. Here you go.
Hi everybody, you're watching Late Night with MJ Klein on Taiwan Live TV.
Hi, this is Stephen Osaka, live from Greenland. You're watching Taiwan Live TV with MJ Klein.
This is Drew from Taiwan, JDA. You're watching the Late Night with MJ Klein.
Of course, Taiwan Live TV is the old name of the project. Now, so now I feel really bad about blocking Joey in Brooklyn. I got to figure that out later. If it doesn't resolve itself in the next couple of minutes. Ugh. Joey's cool though. He goes way back, you know, to like pre-Periscope days, and he knows how that stuff happens. Wouldn't be the first time I blocked somebody by mistake. I blocked like some of my most, you know, my biggest supporters just by pressing the wrong button. Anyway, let me finish up. I was going to say about COVID. There's something weird about COVID. And now that I've had it, I think I'm qualified to say this. This is really weird, guys. I'm having trouble even just processing this. I sensed an intelligence. This was an invader in my body, and I sensed an intelligence. I didn't think about it. I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't expecting it. That's why I sensed it, because all of a sudden it just kind of like, I became aware of it. See, you know, you can fool yourself into stuff if you're expecting it. It was looking for a way to attack me. It was looking for a weakness. And yeah, I'm an old guy, but I took some really good advice from Dr. Sears and other doctors over the years, and I protected myself with really strong supplementation and exercise, very focused. It got me. Remember I said then I had to go to the doctor to get medication for my heart arrhythmia? How many of you have heard that some COVID-19 patients experience cardiac problems? Remember? All of a sudden, I started having palpitations when I shouldn't. See, with me, I can cause palpitations the same way I can cause a migraine headache. If I, you know how, if I want to give myself a migraine headache, you know what I do? I don't even have to get drunk. I just have to drink a certain amount of alcohol, just a normal amount for most people, but not sleep. Just overextend myself and bam, migraine headache. And with my heart palpitations, which are basically dropped beats, premature ventricular contractions, all I got to do is drink too much coffee, somehow get too much stimulation and not enough rest. But in this case, I was resting more than I normally do. I was resting at least I was sleeping at least 8 to 12 hours a day and lounging around the rest of the time, just reading, listening to music, and, just composing and things and taking it easy. But what I noticed is the medication that I take for arrhythmia lasts about 8 hours. And I never really think about that. I just happen to know that as a fact. And there was definitely a correlation when that medication started wearing off. Bam, 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 bam. PVCs, premature ventricular contractions, dropped beats, palpitations. I started having these things regularly. I was like, what? Now, the medication that the doctor gives me is normally for 2 times a day. And remember I told you that I sent my wife to get the medication, and I'm under quarantine for 7 days. I can't leave, but they gave her to give me 10 days worth of medication, but now I'm taking it 3 times a day. I had to be very, very careful. I had to measure it out. And then as soon as I got out of quarantine, I went back to the doctor and I had like 2 doses left. I sensed that thing, that COVID-19, was looking for a way to get me. I just had this weird feeling. There's something there's something engineered, unnatural, alien about this disease. I don't know what it is. You can call me crazy if you want. I'm an engineer in 3 fields. I hold 2 of the United States government's highest radio licenses that are not easy to get. I mean, I've done studies at MIT. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to tell you that I'm not like some guy that's just making stuff up. I felt something weird about this disease. And I had to be very careful about letting that arrhythmia medicine wear out where it could attack me and start giving me PVCs. Because here's the thing. PVCs can lead to other stuff. It can lead to atrial fibrillation, which isn't exactly dangerous, but if it becomes ventricular, then it's a medical emergency. And if you get ventricular tachycardia, it can be fatal. So I just didn't want it to escalate. So I had to manage that. So the first thing I did was I dropped all coffee and all tea and all stimulants whatsoever from my intake. Because I told you I was fasting, so I wasn't eating, but I was drinking. And I told my wife, yeah, I'd like a milk tea or something. And then I said, I want a coffee latte, just something interesting and different. No, from that point on, I drank water. The only thing I took in for the 7 days was once I realized that that's what was going on. After the first day, all I did was drink water. So my official recommendation to you, as not a physician, but as somebody, who's past middle age, retirement age, and has a couple medical conditions, I recommend that you fast to lower your blood glucose and lower your insulin, and watch for heart palpitations. That's what I say. Oh, all this time, sorry, I forgot to put the chat back on. Sorry. So okay, so I just got a message. Sorry I didn't see that. It says, hi, Michael. Okay, well, not many people call me Michael, so my real name. I'm MJ. Yeah, nice to meet you. I am Bootsy, Jerry S. sister. Okay. Okay. All right. It's Jerry Simon's sister. Okay, very good. And listen, I'm really sorry that I missed that message. Okay, fantastic. Well, Jerry and I go back a long way. Jerry is he's the owner of the studio that backed me with my recording projects years ago. And if it wasn't for Jerry, I wouldn't have had a recording project. So, I know Jerry's cousins and stuff, but I don't think I met you. But nice to meet you. Thank you. Hey, they're getting ready to, they're shutting the main section down. Now I'm going to go inside. And let's go inside for a second. I'm gonna grab one bottle of beer. So I put the chat box back on. And Dee, I'm really sorry that I missed your message that it didn't burn in the comments, but I did see it, okay? So let's do this. I'm still upset that I blocked Joey. I'm gonna go inside, and for courtesy, I'm gonna swing my mask around. All right, so let's go grab some beer. This is where they do the cooking here. They got soups and stuff, and they do like some soup in the morning for like Vietnam style breakfast, and it's a bowl of bean sprouts, and they got a wok and a deep fryer over there. So let me go inside real quick and just get a they locked the darn door. Come on, man, what's going on?谢谢。我要拿一瓶啤酒啊。好啊。Wow. So it's like I just want a bottle of beer, so they locked the door. Yeah. 为什么关门？没有啊。有啊。我不可以。 是功力不够吗？ They're telling the door is locked. They're telling me that. Okay, 等一下我看看 OK。好，谢谢。关起来哦，关起来哦，看看哈。They're telling me that. No, see, no, the door was locked. The door was locked. Hate when they do that. You can't tell me that I don't have enough power to open the door. Come on, man. What I said to her was, I said, you mean I didn't use enough power to open the door? It's crazy. So, I don't know why they had it locked, but oh well. You know, it's Taiwan, and whoops. It's Taiwan, it's my home, and I love it, and it's the real thing. It's the real Taiwan. Oh. Darn it. These are not easy open. So where is, I gotta find, here we go. Right here. This is a Taiwan beer opener. And we're going to open up. Now this is funny. I'll show you this in a second. Excuse me. See this is Taiwan, right? And so foreign beers are like exotic. And so this is Bush beer. See this? Snow Snow Mountain beer. Shui-san, this is a word for mountain, this is a word for snow. Okay, these two words together mean beer. 啤酒. 酒 is the word for liquor, alcohol in Chinese. So this is 水山啤酒. Anyway, so that's how you say Bush beer. And it might actually say somewhere, oh yeah, it's on the top, it says Bush. See this? So this is an exotic beer in Taiwan. Yeah. I know. People do that all the time. Actually, in Taiwan, one of the most famous pastimes is, because everybody smokes here, except for me, they use a lighter. You know, they use the end of the lighter, the tip of a lighter. Now, I don't mind this. If you want, I can turn the light on, but I don't mind this a little bit more of a kind of an intimate thing here. And I was drinking whiskey earlier. You know what they say, though? Whiskey before beer. Feeling kind of queer. Well, I'll let you know tomorrow. Dean, one of my longest, most loyal followers, you know me well. Well, please feel free when I need direction. Now this cup has, you know, like 5 LEDs in the bottom and 2 batteries. And people are fascinated by this. And so I was at a Thai place, and I speak just enough Thai, Thailand, to get into trouble. And so the guy asked me, would I sell this glass? And I said yes. And he said, how much? And I said, 300 baht, which means 300 baht. about 10 bucks. And so I was talking to somebody else, and I told them that it was really 34 baht, which means 30 baht. See, I got this from one of the Jawawa, you know, the claw machines. I saw this cup, and I had, whenever I like to do those claw machines like once every 4 or 5 months just for recreation, and I'll put a limit on it. I'll say, okay, I'm going to spend like $2 or $3 or something, and I never, you know, go over it. And I had grabbed a couple of things, and this cost me 30 NT, which is $1 US. And the parity between the Thai baht is almost the same. Nope, no heat at all. And because it's in the bottom, it's in the substrate. Good question though, because it's only two, you know, it's very two low power batteries. And there are two metal studs that come up that are the contacts. And so when there's liquid in it, it makes the circuit. And you can make the circuit with your fingers. If you you take the glass home and you wash it out, and, you know, like with a paper towel or something, so it turns off and doesn't waste the battery. You can touch it with your fingers and it'll light up. It's very sensitive. The circuit is real sensitive because they obviously want it to light up at the, you know, the least little bit of conductivity. But anyway, so I spent like $1, and so I said, you know, it was so 30 NT, or roughly 30 baht, because the Thai baht is almost on par with, you know, the Taiwan NT dollar. And so instead of saying 30, I said 300, and the guy was like, he was ready to like give me the money. I was like, no, I'm just joking. I don't want to sell it. But we have an app in Taiwan called Shopee. Now, there's a lot of sound translations in Chinese, and the word for shrimp is xia, it's high tone, and the word for skin is like pi. So xia pi, shrimp skin. Shopee, in other words, is a shopping app. So it's funny. So people will say, have you looked on shrimp skin? And on shrimp skin, these things are like 30 NT. You can buy like a whole box of them for $5. It's crazy. So, as stupid as this thing is, it can get you chicks. It's crazy. I mean, the amount of people that are like, "Oh, how 漂亮哦，很光哎." It's like, oh, it's so bright. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's like, what are you, sheltered? Yeah, it's an LED glass. Yeah, if I brought this to a party in the United States, it would be like, oh, how tacky. They would be like, you see that old guy in the corner with a blinky glass? Yeah, stay away from him, will you? Seriously. It really is the other side of the world here. That's the secret. You can see the circuit board and the batteries, see? That's the ice machine. Exactly. You got it, bro. I bring it just because I like it. And maybe you might have guessed by looking at me, I really don't care what other people think of me. And so I brought it to a place tonight because I haven't been out, and I've been very, very careful, you know, before I caught COVID. And I just haven't been out to eat Thai food and stuff. And I said, I'm going to the Thai place tonight. My wife says, really? I go, yeah. She says, are you sure? And I said, well, what are they going to do? Give me COVID? Okay. Here we go. I'm just sick of this. What is going on? What is going on with this guy? Why is he so obsessed with me? Anyway, when I'm done with this live stream and I go to YouTube Studio, that guy can kiss his YouTube account bye-bye. But yeah. So I went to Thai place and I told my wife, I said, well, what can they do? Give me COVID? So yeah, there's other variants that are coming out. I guess variant 4, variant 5. I don't know why they don't just name them. I don't know if it's YouTube that actually, J-Boy, I think if I was using the YouTube app, they do. But see, I'm using Prism Live Studio, and they only have what's available through the API, right? And so I think just the API can only give them a timeout. What can you do though? Can you do anything? Because J-Boy, you are a moderator, right? So, what options do you have? Anyway. I'm actually not used to this on YouTube. This is something that normally happens on Twitch. Become famous. Okay, well, feel free to report, okay? J-Boy, what do you think of the well, Dean, if you remind me, I'll find the link to them, okay? To these ones, and then I think you can order them on Amazon. But yeah, I mean, hey, it's the beginning. Well, I mean, it's not too late yet, but we're deep into the summer, I guess. In the U.S., it would be nice to have those, wouldn't it, on the porch? Dean, I saw some pictures of your home, and the inside of your home is just amazing. Beautiful. So if you got a porch, it must be stunning. I'd love to see some pictures of that. Looks a lot better than my balcony. My balcony is concrete, glass, and tile. But the good news is, I have my studio rebuilt really soon. And it's going to be good. Now I'm planning on, this is funny, back in the early days, no, if you click on that person, you're reporting them. I know what you mean. No. You have to, like, on their comment, you have to click on them and then report. So it'll be tied to them. I know what you mean. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, if you just like go to the report on the stream, then it would report, you know, the broadcaster, which in this case would be me, but no. This is funny. At the beginning of the pandemic, my wife asked me, would you like supplemental insurance in case you get COVID-19? Well, what's that? Well, if you get COVID-19, they'll pay you money. They have that? Yeah. Well, how much is it? And she told me, and it was trivial. And I said, yeah, sign me up. So let me put it to you this way. Now that I got COVID-19, my supplementary insurance is going to give me enough money that I have to declare it on my income tax return. How about that, guys? I'm buying a drone. I'm buying a couple of things that I've always wanted to do, but just never did because I just didn't want to justify doing it. See? I mean, here's the thing. Just because you have some money kicking around, you don't want to just spend it on stuff, you know, unnecessarily. But in this case, I got a little windfall, so. And Frank, yeah, you and I have known each other for a long time. And you'll know what I mean when I say that I've come around to understanding the importance of tax compliance. And I have a Taiwanese accountant and specializes in American citizen tax compliance. This is an old thing with Frank and I. Frank and I go way back. Gosh, Frank, you and I go back to, I'm going to probably say, I'm trying to think of the year. We're talking like, gosh, it's 1980 something, right? 88 or 89, something like that, maybe 88. Anyway, yeah. So he'll appreciate. Frank is Susan, by the way. That Frank is using his wife's account. In case you guys are confused, I'm sorry about that, but. Yeah, you're right, J-Boy. So anyway, while I got the little windfall, what I'm going to do is get this drone, right? Really? Do you have the ham or the GMRS? in Taiwan, the drone licensing is very, very lax. If it's under 250 grams, you don't have to do anything. If it's over 250 grams and you are a like a recreational pilot, it's easy. It's just a, you know, like a cereal box. J-Boy, the United States is one of two countries. Now Frank knows me, and Frank knows that I absolutely despise, actually that's not the word, there isn't a word that describes the hatred and vitriol that I have for the US government and tax system. But there are only two countries that do not have residence-based taxation. That is, where if you live outside of that country, you don't pay taxes because what the heck, you know, you don't live there. One is the United States and the other is Eritrea, so go figure. But they have an earned income tax credit where if you earn less than 100,000 US dollars approximately, and it changes a little bit each year. Like this year, it's roughly 100 grand. You don't have to pay taxes, but you still have to file. And what's really annoying is if you're self-employed, you have to make these little quarterly payments, which is BS in my opinion. But you know, that's what they tell you to do. So what the way that I deal with it is I make somebody else responsible for it, so I don't have to deal with it because it just makes me mad. So like, you know, like Joe Walsh said, you know, I have accountants that pay for it all. That's how you do it. It just, instead of getting really angry and mad, I just go, Peter, I don't want to hear about it. Okay. He sends me a bill and I pay it. And I don't have to hear about it. So that's how it works. Yeah. Yep, I had that white VW. Yep, that's right. Actually, you fixed it. My wife at the time got in an accident, and you fixed it because you're a body man. And I gotta tell you, you know what you're doing. That's for sure. You really know what you're doing. But yeah, so actually, I had a talk with my accountant named Peter, and he's actually an American citizen. He's Taiwanese. I don't understand this. So many Taiwanese want to become American citizens. But it gives them dual tax liability. I go to AIT and I'm like, well, look at all you fools lined up with US passports. What the heck are you doing? What are you guys, idiots? And they look at me like I'm an idiot. Well, I'm the only one that seems to understand that, you know, the reason that like my wife doesn't have a green card is because instantly, the money that she makes on her company, she has to pay to the United States. And we don't even freaking live there. That's dumb. Anyway, that's what I mean by, you know, you said, J-Boy, Eritrea, they're worlds apart, right? Yeah, Eritrea is like authoritarian and backwards. It's a backwater country. Yeah, well, that kind of makes U.S. a backwater country too, wouldn't you say? If they're doing the same thing. That's exact. Thank you for making my point. Like, if you look at, yeah, right. You look at, go look up Roger Moore. He's deceased now. On Wikipedia, he's what they call, well, he was a, what's the word? Anyway, he lived overseas. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Actually, I haven't, but fist bump. Have to be a big drone. Roger Moore, the word is tax exile. He lived outside of the UK for most of his life because his attorney told him that it would be easier for him to sustain a lifestyle that he couldn't sustain. Right, exactly. If he lived in the UK, because the crown takes so much. But the United States, you know, has their claws in you no matter where you are. It's just that when you live outside the United States, they raise the bar to 100 grand. So my attorney, excuse me, not my attorney, my accountant told me that, you know, whatever we set up, if I want to draw a salary or whatever, they cap it right underneath the taxable income. But you still have to file, and you still have to do the withholding, and they hold the money and they give it back to you without interest. And that's the problem, because, ladies and gentlemen, under the Constitution, which is very clear, there are only two types of taxes, indirect and direct. There's no such thing as a payroll tax. That doesn't exist. That's IRS code, and IRS code is not exactly law. And so this whole thing about withholding doesn't exist. And if you don't want to withhold, you just write a letter to your employer that says, I don't want to do this, and then you're free. But what they do is they have all kinds of little ways of tacking on these fines and things for not complying with the tax codes. But the tax codes are not actually rooted in constitutionality. So here's what it comes down to. Well, that's a very good question. See, my tax attorney in 1999 laid it out for me, and I know this very well. But if you don't, they tell you if you don't file an income tax return, and you are supposed to, then it can be 20,000 US dollars per instance. But my tax attorney told me that legally, according to the law, you're not required to file an income tax return if you don't owe a tax. So here's the problem, J-Boy, and here's what it always comes down to, is about being rich. The government does stuff to normal people that they can't get out of unless they're rich. If you can allocate $1 or $2 or $3 million to beat that rap, then you can beat it. Well, it's the same for everybody. It's the same for everyone else. It's just that, here's the thing though. In 2011, the IRS started this, it took them a long time to get it done, but they started this legislation where they could actually cancel a U.S. passport if someone wasn't in tax compliance. Yeah. And I talked to some friends of mine, like from Canada and other countries, that they never heard of anything like that. This is like crazy. But I got my passport renewed in 2019, and they didn't bat an eye, so that means I don't owe them anything. But if you owe more than 50,000 US dollars, they won't renew your passport. I happen to know a US citizen in Taiwan. I'm not going to tell you who he is, but he's been on my channel. He's in this neighborhood. He used to own a bar, he doesn't anymore. But if you go back, I'm sure you can figure out who he is. And he went to renew his passport, and they said that he owed 100,000 US dollars and they would not renew his passport. Now it's interesting because he wasn't deported and apparently wasn't reported to the Taiwan authorities. So they said, you know, you got to call the IRS. Now the thing is, right, is the IRS is like everybody else. If you talk to them with an attitude, you're going to get an attitude back. But you just call him up. He said, look, here's my situation. I don't make much money, blah, 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 blah. And they said, okay, basically, it sounds like you're bankrupt. And they let him off. and they released it and renewed his passport. So there's, something to be said about, being a gentleman and being honest and talking to him about it. But yeah, that's pretty new. And interestingly enough, the report that I read, the reason the IRS said that they wanted to do that was because $50 billion worth of tax revenue was tied up in expats living overseas that basically went, nah, you can't touch me because I live in Thailand, I live in all these other places. And the minute that statute went in effect, one guy paid $1 million to get his passport renewed. But I mean, if you owe $1 million, how much money are you making? See, my friend that I told you about, he doesn't make that much money, and this happened over like 8 or 9 years. It just accrued. And the law doesn't always take into consideration people's circumstances, like force majeure, and bad things happen to good people, and it makes them look bad and stuff like that. So, but for me, I don't have any income because my wife has a company, it's a trading company, and I don't work. And so everything that I do legally, and I have gone over this with my accountant, my wife makes all the investments, like in my studio equipment. She makes investments in everything that we do. So my wife makes the money. See, he or she who invests the money makes the money. So I don't have an income. Therefore, I don't file income taxes. And the fact that I just had my passport renewed in 2019 with no issues is a clear indication that I don't have anything wrong with my tax situation, I guess is how, so there you go. If you could find the answer to that question and make people in Congress answer that question, I'd be willing to give you $1 million. Yeah, exactly. Because the reverse is not true. Taiwanese citizens who hold dual U.S. citizenship do not have to pay money to the Taiwan government that they make outside of Taiwan. See, this is why I love Taiwan. It just makes sense to live here. Yeah, the writing's funny looking, but when you learn how to read it and you look at the laws, you go, yeah. You can have a job, you can afford insurance, you can buy a house and a car, and you have a couple kids, and you can educate them all the way up to like PhD. Yeah, because it makes sense. I'm guessing in India, Jay boy, if you have a venture with me in Taiwan, and you make money with me in Taiwan, that you're not paying taxes on it in India, that's my guess, right? Right. But yeah. So many people want to move to America. Why? Do you like not want to make it? In my neighborhood, right, it's full of Filipino guys. One of the things I dread, if I go over here to Jar Jar in the afternoon, I'll have a beer. Right. Filipino guys. Hello, sir. What are you doing in Taiwan? I live here. Where are you from? I hate this. I hate when I say America. Because then there's 50,000 questions. They go, hold on. I haven't lived in America for 18 years. Don't ask me anything about America. I don't know what it's like. 18 years, it's like, it's another planet. And then they're like, why do you want to live in Taiwan instead of America? Whatever I tell them, they don't believe me. They never believe me. They believe their parents. And their parents are telling them, do whatever it takes. Whatever you got to do, get to America, and then you can be rich. When I was a young man, there was an ad on TV talking about immigrants coming to America. And they were saying, do you know how you can tell the difference between a rich American and a poor American? The poor American washes his own Cadillac. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not 1975. It is the second decade of the 21st century, and the American dream is dead. It's over. It's a lot here. It's alive here. And I'm living proof. Yeah. And you've heard me talk about the health insurance here. See, one of the big problems I had in America, and you know, Frank, he knew me in this time. He knew me. I laid on the floor in my house, staring at the ceiling for 4 or 5 years at a time and looking out the window. Couldn't do anything because health insurance is tied to employment. If you are unemployed in America, you are finished. It's over. There's nothing. You got no safety net. See, in Taiwan, we have national health insurance. It's not tied to employment. And I have had much better medical care here, and medical care when I really, really needed it. And it was fantastic. Laser surgery on my eyes when I was suffering from a detached retina. If I was still living in Lynn, Massachusetts, I would be blind. And it's true. I'm going to tell you another secret. When you're traveling around the world and you see people, if you want to know if they're Americans, watch their smile. If their teeth are all crappy, they're Americans. If their teeth are like all straight and perfect like mine, they're from somewhere else, or they live somewhere else. Man, oh man. You know, I was in Kon Kan, Thailand once. Must have been 2006. I was eating some food, all of a sudden, crunch, 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 right up here. About here, on the top, One of my teeth disintegrated, and you guys know what that feels like. It's like all of a sudden you spit it out, it's like, oh crap. Rice and pieces of teeth. Oh. So, I'm on a motorcycle, and I ride around the neighborhood. This is at nighttime. This is like 8 o'clock at night, okay? And I saw a sign that was unmistakably a dentist, and I walked in, Sawadee cop, and the guy spoke English. It was a Thai dentist, trained in Australia, so he spoke English very well. May I help you, sir? I said, yes, sir. I seem to have broken a tooth. Okay, let me take an examination. Took an examination. Okay, I want to take an x-ray. Okay, fine. Now, in America, you're like, already you're going, okay, do I have Medicaid, Medicare? Do I have my credit card? How much, you know, right? No. I want to take an x-ray. Okay, I'm confident. No problem. Takes an x-ray. He comes back, he says, okay, the good news is only the top part of your tooth is broken and nothing down in the root. We don't need to do a root canal. Nothing serious. There's no split all the way down. So we can just do like a filling on the top and it'll be okay. I said, okay, fine. And he did it right there, like on a walk-in. An hour later, I walked out and my tooth was fixed. How much is it? It was $12 US with the x-ray. It was then it really started to hit me about the true nature of things, you know, the true nature of the scale of economy and why people want to live outside of the U.S. Frank, if you're still living, if you're still watching, one of my best friends in Thailand is an attorney with the personal assets that you have. He could set you up with a villa, swimming pool, and 2 servants. And you live out the rest of your life in the lap of luxury, and yes, they have an English-speaking congregation nearby. There's something to think about. There's no need to, oh, and you can bring your motorcycle too. Yeah, there's just no need to be putting up with all this stuff that we have to put up with in the United States. There are so many alternatives, you know, and there's no wokeness here. You know, the cool thing about Taiwan is that, excuse me, now they have gay marriage here, and they have, you know, the gay pride, you know, marches and stuff. But people don't shove it down your throat, and they don't care. And you know, you do like everybody else. You just show normal respect. You know, I got nothing against gay people. I don't care what you know, I don't care what somebody is or what they are, what their color is or nothing like. Nobody does, right? So they don't make it an issue. You know, and so everything is just so cool here. And I don't know how to say it. We don't have the issues. It's just like all these first world problems that the U.S. has with like misgendering and stuff, being crimes and just all these things. That just, if I lived in the U.S., I'd probably blow a gasket. Because the problem is you're not allowed to make mistakes. If there's a woman that has a crew cut and works out and builds up and looks like a man, but is a woman and you say sir or he and they get upset, well, what'd you think would happen? But it's not my fault, and it's not malicious. It's called a mistake. You know, and right over here at the High Life behind me, there's a woman with a really, really short, super short haircut. And when I go into the store, I don't really pay that much attention, you know, to the people that work there. Like, I don't really like scrutinize them, you know what I'm saying? And I needed this person's help. It's a female. But I accidentally said sir. And she didn't say anything. She didn't fault me for that. I would say, after I realized it was a woman, I looked at her and I think maybe she was wearing like a binding for her breast or something, trying to look like a male. I don't know. I don't care. It's okay. But I made a mistake. But you know, the point I'm making is she didn't take my head off. I appreciated that. And so I saw her next time, I called her Miss. Yeah, see, people here are a little more tolerant if you make a mistake. You can say, oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, I made a mistake. And people accept that. No, Mike, it wasn't like pneumonia. It wasn't even, it was nothing. I described it earlier, and I felt a weird intelligence trying to attack me later on, but it was basically a week of annoyance. I gotta say, if that's COVID, are you kidding me? But it's not the same COVID that was killing people 2 years ago. No. I think if I got the original Wuhan version, I don't think I would be here. Okay? So the Taiwan government has protected us. And the problem is, and this is kind of brought out with one of the socialist websites that I was drawn into reading an article about Taiwan the other day. The zero COVID policy has no exit strategy. And so Taiwan decided to create an exit strategy that worked. And that's based on the fact that now the current variant is very mild. So I had pneumonia when I was 5 years old. I spent 2 weeks in the hospital in St. Petersburg, Florida. Now, as an adult, I realize probably how close I was to dying. Right. Different variants, different consequences. Good way to put it. Now I realize how close I probably was to not making it. But yeah, since I was 5, I've never had it. Let me tell you something though, and I know it sounds kind of gross, okay, but you know, we're talking about about the disease. You know that when you have like sputum, right? No, I agree, and I have had 3 shots of the the local protein subunit, no messenger RNA, and my wife had 2. Phoenix got it too, but Phoenix hasn't had any vaccines. But I gotta tell you, I felt really, really bad the first night after. She was standing in the bathroom talking to mommy, and she was crying because her throat hurt so bad. But then after that, that was it. And she went to school, Google Classroom. She sick with COVID. She attended school the whole time, and right up until now, I mean, they can go out tomorrow. Their quarantine orders are over, and they can go out tomorrow. And so, yeah, but at no time did I feel that it was dangerous, but it did try to attack my cardiac problem with arrhythmia. And so, Mike, if you're just joining, you can go back later and check out the replay when I talk about that. But yeah, it was weird. I felt like, gosh, I don't know how to put my finger on it. I'm an old guy. I've been sick a lot. I've had flu. I did have pneumonia when I was 5, but I've had lots of different kinds of flus and colds, and I normally don't get them, and I take colloidal silver and other things. In the last 7 years, I've had flu once. And I went down to we have a local ENT down here, and I walked in, and I saw the guy, said, yeah, flu, and he gave me Tamiflu. And when I had that flu, I felt like I was gonna die. I mean, I didn't actually think I was going to, but I wanted to, because it sucked. It was terrible. I had this headache, and I couldn't sleep, and I was achy, and every which way that I tried to lay on the bed, it was just annoying, and I kept flipping around, right? So, you mean while I was sick? Oh, you thought I would do a during? Yeah. Well, but there was something weird and artificial about this COVID thing, It didn't feel like a cold. It felt like, if it was a flu, it sucked. If it was a flu, it's a wimpy flu. But it wasn't a flu. It was looking for something else. And what it found that I have palpitations. It found that I have arrhythmia problems, and that's what it attacked me. But J-Boy, if you're saying that you thought that I would do like an update, the reason I didn't do it was because I was in my bedroom. And it just like, yeah, right. It's like I was in my bedroom, and I would be like, I didn't want to subject you guys to that. Of course, one of the things I did, and we talked about this because you guys know that I recently got, the Panasonic Arc 5. And I've really been into taking care of my face and shaving. And you can see that, I got more rest, and I got like a little bit less like baggage around my eyes, right? And, for somebody that has COVID, I think I look, pretty good. But, for that had COVID. But every 3 days or so, I made sure that I shaved, and I maintained a certain level of humanity, if you will, right? And You know, those little things make a big difference. Because if you're feeling bad and you look in the mirror and you look bad, that can drag you down. But one of the things I was worried about was how would it affect my ears? Because, you know, with my business, with mixing and stuff, right? No, I did, and I didn't want anybody to worry. Actually, I was kind of reluctant to get, you know, too deep into it because I know you guys worry. I know you guys love me because I love you too. You know, that's the whole thing about our line group, you know. And when any one of us gets sick, you know, any of us, we all feel it. And like right now, you know, I feel hurt for Penrod. And I know everybody else does too, you know. And so, but I didn't want to make people feel bad about that, right? But I also didn't want people to see me like in the bedroom, you know, with just, because I knew in a week I'd be okay. So, and this is Sunday night, which is the regular night which I usually live stream on, so it only made sense to just, you know, go ahead and go on. And I got my mic, and it's, you know, it sounds pretty good. I got a fan behind me, so. Yeah, that's true. But Jay boy, you know that you can send me a message, and I always get it, right? But I appreciate it, bro. You know, you stuck with me, man. You know, through thick and through thin. But I will tell you this: I was worried about my ears because I blew my nose, and all of a sudden the high end changed, and I realized, oh, the bottom end came up. I wasn't hearing any bottom end in my ears. I'm like, oh no, if this affects my ears, I'm dead, right? But no. I spent the last couple nights in the studio doing some critical listening, some mixing and mastering of some stuff, just for reference. You guys know that I have tracks for many famous tunes. I was working on some mixes of some Boston songs, Peace of Mind and Hitch a Ride, those two tunes, and I mastered them too because I wanted to hear what they sounded like in my ears, and kind of see how, you know, like a calibration, and everything's fine. So I'm ready to go back. I have so much work. I have a whole album for one guy to do, and I have a second release for Spotify for another artist, and there's another new up and coming artist that is sending me tracks. So I probably got about 14 songs in the shoot that I'm going to be mixing over the next 3 weeks. It's pretty good. And sorry to say, that guy William Pitt burned his bridge with me. And that's another story. I think I told you guys about that. But I'm done with William Pitt. You know, city lights. Yeah, he can go snuff the city lights as far as I'm concerned. He burned those bridges with me. I never had anybody talk to me so condescendingly, like I'm an idiot. So yeah, I don't care how big of a star you are, man. I know some stars personally that are bigger than you. Just how it is. All right, look. It's not too late. It's only 15 minutes after midnight. Now, I went over to Mr. Wu's, right, and they're closed. But let's see, what do we got now? Let me see. I'm just counting up how much I owe in my head. I asked them earlier if they had any of those Vietnam spring rolls, and they don't. So I'm trying to think of what else I can get that I want to get some more food, maybe some more food, and maybe one more bottle of beer. This would be a good, like, you know, post like COVID-19 thing. Let's do this. This is cool. This is a menu that I actually helped them develop. I did all the English on this for them, so. Hey, 小林，我想什么就是不知道什么。我想是什么就是不知道哎，不知道什么。
你想吃哦？
就是不知道什么，就是我想炸的。
炸的没有。
炸的没有。
炸的没有。因为今天那个没有卖，你知道吗？很多东西没有。
She's saying she's a lot of stuff they didn't buy. She didn't buy it, so.
昨天没有去市场。
什么？
没有去市场，没有买菜。
哦。
很多的没有。
Oh, yeah, didn't buy a lot of stuff, so. 没有有鸡肉吗？
没有鸡肉，现在没有卖鸡肉了。
猪肉吗？
猪肉要做什么？你做什么？
我想炸猪肉。
没有炸猪肉。
没有啊。
这一片片小小，刚刚炒饭那个。
太小了哈。
太小的。
Okay, so I'm asking for like deep fried pork pieces, but I don't have that. So, 有香肠吗？
正常有。
Okay, 一份香肠。谢谢. Okay, so I asked her if she has sausage. Yeah, so there you go. So sausage. I'm gonna get one more bottle of beer. So, all right, you guys, listen. If you're still with me, help me decide. Whoops. I just rubbed up against that. Oh, 不好意思，谢谢. Help me decide which kind of beer you want. I should get. Okay, so that's standard Budweiser. This is Budweiser Supreme over here in this kind of like a gold bottle. And that's Busch down there. And that's bar beer on the bottom, which is actually, believe it or not, it's a Japanese company beer, but it's made in China. It's not bad. Let me see. This is Kirin. I think, is it Kirin? Hang on, let me get this out. Whoa. Yeah, it's Kirin. See, Kirin bar beer. Now, I love Kirin beer, but I gotta tell you. Oh. Wow, they put down, excuse me, they put down some cardboard. I don't know why, like to protect the floor or something, I guess from spills. And the cardboard's really slippery and I almost fell. Easy. So she said, be careful. Now, Kirin, of course, is a Japanese beer company, right? And Kirin is actually really one of my favorite beers. I like it. I drink it a lot. Not that I drink a lot of beer, but a lot of times that I drink beer, I drink Kirin. And this is Kirin bar beer. It's supposed to, okay, is this, J-Boy, can you read this? Is this backwards or forwards? Is this backwards? Oh man, I think this is backwards, right? See, the new update of Prism. I know, it's a hazard. That cardboard on the floor. This is backwards, right? You can't read this. The new Prism update. In order to install it, I had to deinstall the old version and it lost all my setup. I believe that this is backwards. And I believe I need to flip the front camera. So all this time I've been showing you the wrong thing. Yes, this looks right. Is this right? This is right, right? Prism is all about what you see is what you get. Prism is about realism. And one thing I hate, you know, when I, like, I did a live stream on Instagram, right? You know, showing my recording console and stuff as I was mixing a song. And then somebody sent me a message. Any reason why it's backwards? And I went, yeah. It's Instagram standard. Yeah. Okay, so the rear camera's right, but now I made the front camera right. So this is correct, right? And you can read this. Okay, so now, all right, yeah, this is good. See, I had it accidentally on mirror image. Now here's the problem. Here's why that happens. In Prism, it says flip front camera. But you flip the front camera if you want it correct. To me, the nomenclature is backwards. Whoa, this chair's about to break. Look at this, guys. See this? See? There's 3 legs. One leg. This whole chair almost fell apart. Look at this. Can you see this? Holy cow. Boy, oh boy. Xiaolin, 不好意思，我太重了。这边有啊，这边有，没关系。不好意思啊，对不起啊。She's laughing. What I said was I'm too heavy. My goodness, I'm glad. Oh my gosh, that could have like been really bad. I just happened to feel it kind of like give way. It's a wooden chair, and so one leg one leg fell out, and then the seat part decided to slide. So anyway, you see what I'm saying about the nomenclature, right? To me, if you flip the front camera, the flip should be away from reality. You know what I'm saying? The flip should be like, make it wrong. So, yeah, well, see, I mean, I've been drinking all night. This just shows that I'm not drunk. Otherwise, it would have been a floor show. It's an old joke we used to have on the road. Whenever anything bad would happen and, you know, somebody would fall or something. That's tonight's floor show, ladies and gentlemen.
没有蒜头啊，蒜头四香肠蒜头没关系啊，蒜头
啊，
没有。
哦，双头没关系啊。哦，谢谢。So she's telling me that, see, they in Taiwan they always serve sausage with garlic. Okay, a little piece of garlic, and she's saying that she has the sausage, but she doesn't have the sausage. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. How's my hair look? It's falling out, guys. Look, it's getting thin. You know, it's getting thin up through here, and you know, I depend on you because the last thing that I want to look like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The last thing that I want to look like is an old guy trying to hang on to the last little vestiges of youth. I remember one time I was at the airport. Gosh, this must have been, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago. And I saw a guy who was on the plane with me. And at the time, he was probably 15 years older than me back then. So, which might put him like maybe my age or a little more now. And he had a ponytail, but the whole front of his head was bald. You know, so the ponytail was comprised of whatever came from the fringe on the side and what little he had in the back. And he had like, you know, like 5 hairs or 6 hairs or something, this long, scraggly. It looked like hell. It was terrible, you know? And I kept thinking, dude, I mean, you know, you could probably be like the Secretary of State, but you look like a homeless person. And so anyway. Yeah, but you know something, Mike? That doesn't make the measure of a man, right? But what I'm talking about is you don't try to grow, you know, the 3 hairs that are left and try to make a wig out of it, you know. So that's what I'm saying. You just embrace what you got. So I was looking in the mirror and I take pictures of my haircuts and stuff that the guy gives me. And Mr. Lee, if you can find a good barber, I mean, that's like an asset that's just unbelievable. That can help you. And I told him, I said, you know, that the top of my hair, you know, it's going bald, and my wife says, you know, that she can see my scalp, and you know, I mean, I don't know why she would say that, but I guess she's just letting me know. But you know, the shorter you cut your hair, the more, in that case, I guess, the more natural or the better it looks. You know, because everybody, if you have a comb that has like a, you know, coarse, like a coarse comb, and it's wide in between, you know, you're going to see in between, you know. So, but you mean shave my head? You mean have I ever shaved my head? Is that what you mean, J-Boy? When you say clean shaven, normally in like American English, that means no beard, like I am now. But if you mean have I ever shaved my head, yes, I did once. Believe it or not, I did it in the summer when I first came to Taiwan. It was funny, I was bored. And I didn't have any reason not to do it. So I just kind of, you know, I was trimming my eyebrows and trimming my sideburns, and I was just, you know, I had my, I had a beard at the time. You know, I had like a goatee, right? And I had been shaving it, and I had a beard trimmer that had, you know, like you slide it in the comb, and it can give you, you know, what I'm talking about, the different, you know, lengths, right? And so I put it really short, and I was trimming this, and I just said, you know, let me see what, you know, and I started cutting around, and just pretty soon I just did the whole thing. It looked like crap. While I was doing it, I was like, wow, this is really interesting, you know, I never saw myself like this. But I instantly regretted it. Excuse me. And you're going to think a lot less of me when I tell you why. Oh, shit. You're going to think a lot less of me. It's because, and I don't know why this is, for those of you who travel overseas, it seems like most white men are bald. I don't know why. I mean, a lot of them I've seen, you can tell by looking at their hair that they have a full head of hair, but they chose to shave themselves bald, and I have no idea why. And so, I have a bush hat, so believe me, I wore the heck out of that bush hat. But I realized that I just started to look like every other foreigner. But like, if you look here now, right? I mean, you can tell it's thin, or thinner than it used to be. But I think it's still okay. But if you guys tell me that's starting to look bad, then I'm going to go to Mr. Lee. I'm going to tell him to give me the 3mm cut. Because, yeah. I just don't want to. Well, like Mike said, I don't want to be the comb over guy. That would not be good. Oh, wow. 2 hours, 13 minutes. I wonder how many total viewers that we've had. Gosh, I got 5 thumbs up. For me, it's pretty good so far. I wonder how many total viewers we've had on YouTube. Yeah, I have a brush that I use, and you know they call it Rogaine outside, I guess in North America, but it's Regain in other countries. They can't say Rogaine because, you know, I mean, they can't say Regain in America, you know, because of liability. They call it Rogaine. But here in Taiwan, they call it Regain, and they make a really, really nice shampoo that's designed to open the pores of the skin that are clogged and maybe stopping hair from growing. And I use that. And I actually have a brush that I use to scrub my scalp when I shampoo. Then I always follow up with a lovely sandalwood shampoo, because I like that. And I have a sandalwood body wash. So those of you who know me and are around me, I smell like sandalwood. Fist bump. Thank you, Frank. Thanks for sticking around, and enjoy your travels on the vintage Indian. That really, really looks cool. And you know, Frank, it would be my pleasure to host you to come to Taiwan and take a motorcycle tour around the island. You'd love it. Take care. Thank you. All right. One of the things that I read the other day was that of course you have to be careful and dilute it, but an apple cider vinegar rinse can help revitalize the follicles and help with some premature baldness issues. I'm like, that is good. And I have apple cider vinegar and I drink it frequently. It's part of my normal regimen, actually. All right, you know this sausage here? Let me do this. Let me find a piece that I can show you. Sounds good. You see those little dots in there? Yeah, Frank, that'd be really cool. Those little dots are flying fish roe. And we just saw an example. Here's an example of the front of Prism Live Studios' new exposure and focus lock. Hey. Yeah. Let me see if I can focus on this. And, yep. On this. People always know me everywhere. Wow. Well, what do you expect? Been in this neighborhood 16 years. It's funny. All right. Let me say this. It's 12:30 at night, and there are people showing up because what they want to do is they want to go into the karaoke rooms and they want to play around with Vietnam girls. Okay, that's what they want to do. They want to play with Vietnam girls. That's what they're here for. So. Vice is a huge thing here. I'm going to check this out. Dean just sent a picture. Hair removal? No, I don't want to remove it, but I don't want to remove hair. Now, Dean just sent a picture via the Line app, and he said that this was his hair sitting on his dresser, mocking him. Language barrier? Yeah, because you mean with the Vietnam girls? No, they all speak Chinese. Before any of the Vietnam foreign workers can come here, they have to study Chinese for 3 months. And the women that come here with fake marriages, they can all speak. So this was just sent to me via Line, and that's the power of Prism. Prism Live Studio, where we can instantly add multimedia. Now, if you guys are interested in what I'm doing as a tour guide on HeyGo, you can point your browser to therealtaiwan.tw. therealtaiwan.tw. .tw. That'll bring you to my Hago channel, and from there you can see what I'm doing for tours. This flying fish sausages, wow. I just love this. So go ahead, keep those images coming, you know, online. It's great. I love it. First, I'll let you guys know when my COVID money comes through, and I get my new drone. That'll be hilarious, because I'm gonna love, obviously, shooting drone stuff, and I'll be able to you know, play the videos here. And show you those right here in real time using Prism Live Studio, because that's the power of Prism, to be able to bring you the multimedia. These guys that just came here, they sound Vietnamese. I mean, they're all talking Vietnamese. All right. So we have been on for 2 hours and 23 minutes. Yes, the DJI Mini 3 Pro with the RC controller with the built-in screen. If you ask me, that's a no-brainer. With the stock battery, it's sub 250 grams. Built-in color screen with the app and everything in the controller, and does so many amazing things. But I mean, 4K 60 right off the bat. Come on, man, 4K 60, and the gimbal rotates for portrait mode. Now, I don't care about doing TikToks, but the reason that rotating to portrait mode makes a difference is because now you can do panoramas in portrait mode, and you know that if you have a DSLR and you want to do a panorama, that's the way that you do it. I'm an irreplaceable live streamer. Well, Ganshini, Mike. Thank you very much. I never consider myself irreplaceable, but thank you. And I appreciate your comments, you know, offline. And thank you for letting me know that I was missed while I was convalescing. I'm going to tell you, I did entertain the idea of live streaming from my bedroom. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought I might scare people, or, you know, I thought maybe they might think that, holy cow, I'm almost dead, or things are a lot worse, you know, so. Thanks, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Listen, I'm nobody special. I'm just a guy, you know. I'm an old guy. But I'm an honest guy. I have a lot of experience. And I'm willing to share it with you. Here we go again.
Em có cưa đầu gì không? Hay là cam thôi không? Hai đứa hả? Rồi nếu mà chỉ dọc phòng chị giờ chị xịt cho nó có cái rồi. Là Việt Nam hả rồi? Không có đâu, giờ chị Việt Nam rồi.
All right. Now here's the thing. 什么？我听不见。说中文，我听不见。
听不见啊？
讲中文，我没听见啊。来，
你听英文我听不懂啊。
我什么？你会讲英文吗？
我有一点啊。
em lại ngồi anh nói rồi.
你说我听得懂，我
有什么事吗？有什么事吗？
没事。
OK。
Tại vì thằng này nó sai nên ông cái phương của ông nói cũng sai luôn.
So there we go.
Mày dùng cái câu của mày là sai. Mày dùng cái câu của mày để hỏi ông là sai rồi, nhưng mà ông trả lời
Well,
sai tại vì ông
thank you. I appreciate it. But when those guys just like decided to approach me, but oh my gosh. Another stereotyper. I didn't hear what he said. And I told him, I didn't hear you. And here's what happened. Sometimes, see behind me? That's a fan. Look, here's what I hear. That's what I hear behind me, okay? So this guy is talking to me, and I hear this fan in the background, and I can't hear him. So I'm like, what did you say? And so, because I said, what did you say? He thinks I can't understand Chinese. God, I hate this. Crap, I hate this. Damn, I hate this. So I said, there's a difference. In Chinese, you say, 我听不见, it means I didn't hear you. If you say 我听不懂, it means I don't understand you. It's different. I didn't say 我听不懂, I said 我听不见, which means the words didn't arrive at my ears. So I'm trying to just get this freaking idiot to repeat what he says to me, and he won't do it. And for those of you who speak Chinese, go back and listen. I said, talk. I said to him in Chinese, I said, speak. And he's like, if I say English, can you understand? I'm like, yeah, but like, so is there any use to speaking English? Some of these people, they have this thing, right? And it is a thing in Asia. And those of you who travel here, play with foreigner, it's called. Well, they just want to go up and play with foreigners. And sometimes it's harmless and cute. Other times it's annoying. He didn't want anything. He was hoping that I was some ignorant foreigner that would fawn over his Englishy. I'm not, and I won't. Like yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, the day before when I got out of quarantine. You know, I went over to the local restaurant, the breakfast restaurant. And you know something? I haven't been to that breakfast restaurant in months. If you look at my channel at the shorts, where it says that if there's a short about making a Taiwan hamburger, that's where I went. And I told the lady, I want an omelet. And she asked me, you want bacon? Yep. You want cheese? Yep. And how much? She remembered from like 4 months ago, right? No, he did. He definitely did. I'm friendly. I'm nice. I just don't like crap. I just don't, I mean, really. What I don't like is for people to stereotype me. Anyway, so here's what happened. I went outside, and when I left, ate my breakfast. The lady made it perfect. It was amazing, right? 4 eggs, four orders of bacon, 4 orders of cheese. The omelet was like this big, right? Beautiful. I get done eating, and I go outside, and there's a truck in front of the restaurant, and there's a bunch of construction stuff, and a boss lady came out, and she says, "Oh, you can't leave. Your bike is blocked in." I said, "No, I can go through there." So one of the construction guys comes over to me, and he's like, oh, "You okay? Okay?" And I'm talking Chinese to him. I go, 没关系，我可以坐那边啊，有空的。I clearly said, it's okay, I can go over there. It's open. Well, thank you, I try to be. Yeah, it's 这边有空的. That means it's open over there, right? Like an open space. But he's like, I don't know, some of these guys, damn it, I used to go to this bar over there, right? That's true. I used to go to this bar over there, and some guy would come in, and he would give me, the Hitler salute. And he would call me, Michael. Of course, everybody knows that's my real name, but I go by MJ in the English-speaking world. And he would say like, hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Oh my gosh. I just can't believe this. And, it's not just that it's annoying, but it's the filthy language. Seriously. The language is just, So, he'd be like, hello, how are you? Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. And all his friends are looking at him like, you can speak English. I didn't know you can speak English. And I'm like, you can't speak English. That's not really English. And I'll explain to him that that's like the first page of the English book. There's another guy that I used to know. Taiwanese guy, he calls himself Paul. He can't speak English for a flying flip. He would walk into a place. I mean, I would. Let me rephrase it. I would go into this place, and he would be there, and he would go, "Hi, Michael, how are you?" And I'd go, "I'm fine." And he would say, "Are you sure?" Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm fine. But you see, "Are you sure?" is the next thing that he knows how to say. And it perpetuates, the illusion that he can speak English. So I think what this guy just wanted to do was like, you guys may remember that gosh, maybe it was 2 years ago, that I went through this convoluted, just, I can't believe it. Just, I want to say BS, but I don't like to use that kind of language. But I just went through this convoluted crap just because somebody wanted to say, drink, drink, happy, happy, you know? And it's like, you know, if you just said it in Chinese, it would have went like this, you know? Oh, 喝酒开心. Oh yeah, okay, I got it. So, no, it is. It is irritating. And I hate to be that way because I know I'm, I guess, technically a guest here, but this is about, you know, the the play with a foreigner. And they don't like it if someone comes up to you and they're doing that and they are like, and you can speak Chinese way better than their English. They don't like that. So this guy over here, you know, when I was trying to leave and going through there, you know, he insisted on speaking English. The guy can't freaking speak English. He can't. So you know what I did? I left the area. You know, I got through there and I stopped and I looked at him and I said, 你不会说英文，不要说英文好不好? I just told him, I said, you can't speak English, so don't speak English, okay? Because it's like, just stop it. Anyway, now on the other hand, there's some amazing people here that expect me to speak full-on Chinese. Now you guys know I'm a Christian. I'm going to tell you, I'm in a Chinese congregation. If I'm listening to a sermon, it's in Chinese, baby. But the thing is, right, is like some places I go to the mall, if I got a takeout order, they don't say one stinking word in English and they don't water it down. It's only if they say something that maybe is a little bit out of the ordinary and I might not understand, and I'll tell them, I'm not sure what you said, and maybe they can use English, that's okay. So, you know, J-Boy, let me ask you a question. If you saw a guy like me that spoke reasonably good Hindi, what would you do? Would you insist absolutely that, like, no, you gotta speak English? Or would you just go along with it, you know, and do what most people do is, you know, they go back and forth, they interchange, right? Because seriously, even when I'm talking full-on Chinese with Taiwanese, we always throw English words in, right? Because it only makes sense. There, you know what I'm saying? Things like technical terms, you know what I'm talking about? Like if you're talking about a TV set and you're talking about like HDMI or USB-C, you have to say these things in English, right? So, yeah, I mean, would you be hung up? Because there is a thing, and if you look at, and this might be funny for you, J-Boy, if you ever want to look at some of the forums in Taiwan for foreigners that live in Taiwan, you will run across a phenomenon known as Miss English. Yeah, you do whatever makes sense, but you don't try to, like, you know what I mean, either way, right? You just go with the flow, right? Exactly. There is a prototype in Taiwan, because it's well known that females have better communication skills than males, even though some people can't identify what a woman is. Tribute to Matt Walsh. The thing is, right? Well, when I come visit you in India, we're going to speak English, okay? All right? If we meet some Chinese people, I'll handle that, but no, we're going to speak English. And I would love to learn some Hindi, but maybe you're not the guy to learn from. Okay, that's okay. But Miss English is a phenomenon, and this is really true in Taiwan. Your Chinese can be spectacular, immaculate, peerless, and no matter what you say, she's going to answer you in English. I was at a restaurant on Saturday with my family. And the guy was just so annoying with his Englishy that I just told him, I don't speak English. That's a lie. I shouldn't have done that. But sometimes I have to do that to get people to drop English. And then they might go, they might say, oh, that's impossible. Right. That's true. And all of my Indian friends that I've known throughout my life, they all speak English very well. They got a cool accent, and I like it. Like Russell Peters. I love that stuff, you know. And if I get challenged, like if I say, I don't speak English, and they go, I don't believe you, then I speak Russian to them. It's unfathomable to them that somebody that looks like me can't speak English. But the other thing that happens too is, this is a blessing and a curse. Like if you go to Costco or you go to any other store or something where they got those like credit card things, right? So, right. Yeah, exactly. But the problem is most French people can speak English, right? Well, here's the thing. I'm not trying to be a snob. Now you guys know me, and I'm direct and I'm honest. And you know, sometimes I don't call it right, or I mean, what I mean by that is I don't call it correctly. There are two kinds of people, and you can tell right away. The first kind of person sees you and says, "Okay, this is a foreigner. They probably, or maybe can't speak Chinese, so I'll try to help them and speak English." And as soon as they hear you, well, here's the thing, J-Boy. This is actually, I actually view this as positive. Every foreigner in Taiwan is American. There's a friend that I have named Philly who's Israeli. That's another thing. That's another thing, Mike. But the average worker, no. See, it's not that because they don't have time to do that. A friend of mine named Philly is Israeli, and he went to a lecture, and the professor was talking in English, and he made mention about Americans, and he saw Philly in the audience, and every time he was talking about Americans, he gestured towards Philly. And so, yeah, so Americans this, Americans that, and he's Israeli. Okay, so I told somebody one time I was from Iraq, and they just refused to believe it. You know, or I tell somebody it's every foreigner, black or white, is American in Taiwan because they can't believe that anyone else would come here. But what I'm saying is you can tell the two kinds of people because the first person will try to help you in English, but the moment you demonstrate Chinese skills, okay, we're on Chinese, okay, you're cool, that's fine, yeah, we got it. The second one just won't give it up. And those are the ones that I hate. And you know, like I'll go to the place, right? Now this is funny. There's a place in the mall, in the big city mall, where they have these unbelievable hamburgers. I'm telling you, it's every time I go there, I love these hamburgers. They're fantastic. They're like this big, they're huge. Like bacon and cheese. And in the mall in Taiwan, you can buy beer. They got beer there, man. They got lemon beer and original flavored beer. And so if I'm with my wife and my daughter and they're going to be shopping for 3 hours, I'll get a bacon hamburger and like 2 or 3 beers in the mall. It's amazing. So I'm looking at the menu, and I'm looking at with my finger, and I'm looking down because I'm looking for, you know, the bacon and the one that I want, and they try to inch down, you know, the English menu. Now the English menu is identical. It just has English words on it, but the pictures are the same. So there's another restaurant that does that, Mossburger from Japan. So I'm looking at the Chinese one, but I'm looking at the pictures. So all of a sudden, the English one comes down. They blocked what I was looking at in Chinese, and they dropped the English menu in front of me. It's the same pictures. So I looked at the lady and I said to her in Chinese, I said, if I say the name of this in English, will you understand it? And she said, no. And I said, why did you give this to me? And she said, because it's an English menu. Then I said, yes, but you don't speak English. The pictures are the same, are they not? And she said, yes. And I said, well, I don't need this because I'm going to go, I want, whoa, my gimbal, I think, ran out of power. Hang on. Yep, it did. Because I said I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go, I want this, I want this, and I want this. And it doesn't matter if I say English or not. And I don't know why they do that. So when I was at the mall the other day and they tried to give me the English menu, I just kind of politely like pushed it back up. And I said, I want this and I want the beer. And she said, okay. So, wow, my gimbal lost power. So, hang on. Hold on. The reason my gimbal lost power is because I'm using it to power my phone. And it, hang on. Oh, this should be really, really interesting. There we go. Sorry about that. I was using the gimbal as a power bank to charge my phone so it wouldn't run out of power, but I probably shouldn't do that because the gimbal can run for something like 14 hours without, I mean, oh wow, oh, that's a nice dog. The gimbal can run for like 14 hours. Wow, what a nice dog. Hey, come here. Oh, all right, he kind of skittish. But if I use it for a power bank for the phone, then that's what happens. But yeah, you know, so the English menu started to come down and I just kind of like pushed it back up. But I've asked them before, you know, if I order in English, can you understand? And they go, no. And the pictures are the same. That's called the Z-axis. Z-axis. And the answer is no. If I grab the gimbal right now and I go like this, no, it doesn't. But there are some mechanical devices that you can buy. If you look on the internet for Z-axis correction, and the other thing is, if of course, with motion pictures, that's the fourth axis. Motion picture gimbals can take care of everything, you know. But if you remember, like in the early days of Periscope, you're watching people, you know, down the street, and it's up and down, right? So you have to do what we call the ninja walk. You know, you bend your knees and you go like this, right? But that's really true. Yeah. I didn't realize though that the gimbal was full, and it's only been going for like, well, not even 3 hours. And charging the phone, it's already dead. It's not a good sign. However, I could have a battery bank going into the gimbal, and then the output from the gimbal going into the phone. But the truth is now, the phone has, what does this say, 56? Has 56%, so yeah. And my battery bank has both a USB-A and a USB-C, and my phone's USB-C, so I have a USB-C to C. So, and I don't know if you can see probably can't, I got like 3 LEDs, right? So if I were to plug C in from here and C into the phone and exhaust the battery bank, I think the gimbal would quit first, but I could probably stream at least for another hour. But the wireless mics are great. They go for like 7 hours. These things are amazing. And this is oops, sorry, I dropped it. That's the condenser mic there. There's a clip on the back, and the clip fits a cold shoe on, you know, any camera or any device. And there's also an input for a lab mic, and there is a dead cat that fits on the top, but it doesn't work very well because it pops off easy. Every time I try to use it, it pops off. So I never use it. If I need really, really good wind resistance or wind blocking, I'll use the clip-on lab mic, and then I'll use this for body pack. But right now, let me see. The receiver looks almost the same, but it's got the cable that goes into the phone. And the receiver shows both the transmitter and receiver's batteries. Now, full pin on the batteries is 4 bars, and so the receiver and the transmitter have 3 bars. So, yeah, you can transmit way longer than the phone would ever be able to last. So if you wanted to do like a marathon, you'd have to put the phone like in a clip at home and run the thing off like the mains power instead of a battery bank. You have to run it off of a plug-in power pack, and then these things are that would really shine. But I love these. They're Relicart, L-E-R-A-C-A-R-T, Relicart. Made in China, and I actually have a dialogue with them because they know who I am. and so I have a couple questions I want to ask them about adding another microphone. But they have a 2 microphone system, and they've got this really cool thing. It's like a stick, right? That you saw this. This is a square little box, and the square little box fits in the stick, and then they have a clown nose, like a foam windscreen that goes over it and turns it into an interview mic, and I have that. So sometime you'll see me use that as an interview mic. It'll be cool. It'll be a pain in the neck for me to hold it, but some night, just for the fun of it, I'll do a late night, and I'll do the interview mic, and I'll hold the mic on myself for the whole night, and it'll be a pain in the neck, and I'll have to switch hands because they'll get tired. But if I want to talk to somebody, then I can just go like this, and it'll be fun. But basically what it amounts to is this thing at the end of the stick. So you go like this, and then you know, like that. So, but Relicard is a really nice, it's a really nice setup. And it is actually, I would say it's probably a clone of the Rode system. And I'm not a big fan of Rode, but it's almost the same size and the same form factor as the Rode. So if you buy any kind of device, like if you've got the Insta360 1X2, and you've got the PT20 Ulanzi cold shoe, you know, that kind of fits that like in the stitched line, so you can't see it if you're using a wireless mic. It's made for the Rode. It'll work with the Relicard. Anything that's made to hold like the Rode and you know, whatever kind of clamp or whatever will work with the Relicard. So if you get a Relicard, tell them you know MJ Klein. It won't get you anything, but just tell them, okay? I appreciate it. All right. We have been on the air for 2 hours and 58 minutes, almost 3 hours. This is kind of a marathon. Dave in Osaka loves these marathons, and I know that he likes to listen to them when he works. Heaven only knows why, but I appreciate that. Personally, I prefer the shorter ones. Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Mike. You know, I started live streaming with See You See Me back in '96. And you mean, Matthew, you mean you love the wireless mics? Is that what you're saying? I'm going to tell you, Mike, I did see a lot of this coming. Now, some of it I did not. I'm not going to tell you that, you know, I'm the great seer, but a lot of this I did see coming. I mean, some things surprised me, like Instagram. Oh, the marathons. Oh, really? Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Well, thank you. That's cool. Instagram surprises me, you know? Really? Gosh, maybe I should go on longer. Maybe I should plan like a marathon every month. Here's the thing. We got a really, really nice full moon coming up. I think it's the 15th. And so what I might do, the problem is I can only do it on one platform. See, right now I'm doing a simulcast to Facebook and YouTube, right? But gosh, I'm getting tired. I should do a 360 on the moon night, so you guys can scroll around, look at the moon from the roof of my house. That's what I should do, okay? On the full moon. But to answer Mike's question, you know, Instagram surprises me because it's like portrait mode, and I like Instagram, but What the hell is it? I mean, really? Okay. And maybe you could, why don't we do this? Look, both of you guys are in the late night group. Why don't you give me a topic? Okay, we can do that, so. I'm not. I decided not to connect. This iteration, this brand new iteration, you know, the update of Prism, you know, with the fade out on the comments, right? I had to deinstall and reinstall, and when I reinstalled it, I decided not to connect to Twitch. And it's, you know, Taiwan Live TV, and I've changed the name of the channel. I don't care. Twitch didn't do anything for me anyway, so I'm concentrating on Facebook. I never thought I'd hear myself say that, and YouTube. All right, so go ahead and feel free to give me some kind of a, you know, a theme or whatever if you want to. Okay, right. Instagram is something that I don't really get, and Instagram Live, you know, it's like looking through a keyhole, and I don't get that either. But I recognize it for what it is, and it's cool. But by and large, Mike, the answer is yes. I realize that certain aspects of what are happening today would, but of course, nobody could have foreseen every single thing, you know, that goes on. But, you know, the dot-com boom with the dot-com millionaires, and I happen to know a dot-com millionaire. It's amazing. These people made money with nothing. They just had a website that looked cool, and gullible people thought, you know, wow, that's like a really nice looking company. I mean, I've had people look at my website and say, oh, it looks like a nice operation. It's a website, you didn't see the operation. But that's how they were in the, you know, late 90s. Anyway, be that as it may, I recognized live streaming for what it was, and I still think it hasn't reached its full potential, because I think there isn't a single platform. I mean, one single. I'm not saying that nobody has. I'm just saying that I'm talking about there isn't one single platform that has embraced the whole thing, is what I'm saying. Yeah, but Periscope didn't even go as far as it should have. See, the worst thing that happened was when I got invited to Dubai to give my presentation, to broadcast, and to meet with the CEO. If I had just been able to do that, I think it would have changed everything. Because the thing that Periscope did not do is that it did not serve the small business owner. And it descended into the abyss of the $20 private, which never should have been allowed. More people should, oh my God, more people should have been able to I can't believe just, I mean, the filthy language of the, you know, this is just, anyway. All right, so where the heck are we? I had a whole presentation that I was going to give the CEO of Broadcast that would have brought them forward and enabled them to tap into different revenue streams that maybe they may not have thought about, and well, it just never happened. And I made a 6-figure investment in something else that didn't pay off, and what I should have done was I should have bought Broadcast instead. That's what I should have done. Can you guys imagine if I was the boss of a live streaming platform, what kind of platform that would be? Because I wouldn't put up with the shenanigans, you know. And it's just, it would have been all business, and it would have been all highly, you know, technologically sophisticated. It would have catered to the average person just having fun like I'm doing right now, but also small businesses. Because here's the thing, like, for example, if you had a car dealership and you wanted to sell some cars, you know, you should be able to have a live streaming platform, and you should be able to announce a sale and have people come down and show them on the stream, hey, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, they just bought a new Pontiac, yeah, and we gave them this great deal, you know, and show the salesmen, sales ladies talking about what they're offering, you know. Just for example, it could have been anything. Even the local laundromat could have been anybody, anything, but none of that was tapped into with Periscope. It just wasn't promoted, and they didn't have any ambassadors in the field trying to show people how these things would be done. See, back in the old days, before the actual internet, we had intranet. There was a system called CityNet. Not many people know about that, but that was a tie-in with phone lines between Boston and several other cities. And the CityNet Boston had many businesses that were all aligned and available on the CityNet system. You had to use a dial-up modem to get to them, and then later we had SLIP and PPP on the internet, but by that time it was too late and CityNet went under, but it was the right idea. And that's never actually been done since then. Not in the same way. So I had a lot of ideas, and I wanted to present them to Broadcast. Now what I did do, what you don't know, is because I was friendly with the developers, and the developers actually shared things with me like their financial statements. It was amazing. I'm going to tell you something. You know, to run Broadcast, you guys remember Broadcast, right? Every single live stream that ever existed on Broadcast was a half a terabyte. And all of the content delivery network services and AWS, Amazon storage services was about $400 a month. I mean, I could have afforded that personally, but I didn't know about it until it was too late. I would love to have taken that over. Because what I've done in the meantime is, if you go to Behringer.world, that's a forum that I built. You go to thepandemic.community, that's another forum that I built. Or livestreaming.technology, those are forums that I build. These are things that I do. So Broadcast would have just been like another one of those things, but it was gone before I had a chance to do anything with it. And I recently reached out to one of the developers that I used to have contact with. Hey, what's going on? How's everything? Is the code still around? Didn't hear a word back. So I think it's dead, because I was thinking about it. I was talking with my wife and I was like, it'd be really cool. I mean, because it ain't that much money to just, turn this back on and let people use it and see if we can't develop it into something. But no, didn't happen. Anyway. So, that's it. Hopefully, I didn't block all you guys. Like I accidentally blocked Joey. I gotta figure that out later. I gotta go. Guys, take care. It's been over 3 hours, and it is 1:29 in the morning. It's a testimony to my marriage. My wife trusts me. Guys, take care. Thank you so much for joining, and I'm glad to be over COVID, and thank you for making my post-COVID first broadcast a success. Thank you, Matthew. Thanks, Mike. And J-Boy, I presume you're still there too. Appreciate it. Everybody, listen, I'll see you guys next time. And thank you. Now you're still here. Don't be shy, about giving me a theme, okay, for next time. All right? Yeah. Thank you very much, J-Boy. I appreciate it. For the moon marathon kind of thing. I swear, I'll take my my lounge chair to the roof. I'll go to sleep up there, man. I'll fall asleep with a mic on me, and you'll hear me, I'll hook everything up to the mains, so it, we'll do a 16-hour marathon. Clint Eastwood, yeah, I love that. Yeah, just so you guys know, the day Clint Eastwood passes, I'm taking a week off. Okay, I'm taking a week off. I got probably 7 or 8 of his movies, and yeah, it'll be a bad week. So I'm just letting you guys know. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Here comes the big finger. Thank you so much for watching The Real Taiwan with MJ Klein. Good night, you guys. Love all of you. Take care, bro.